Self-improvement can be pretty difficult, and if you're anything like me when I started self-improvement, you're probably overwhelmed with all the information out there because you don't know where to start. So I'm going to take you from step one, starting with the preparation. Now the first thing you want to do is define your goals, using the wonderful power of visualization and journaling. So basically just writing down all your thoughts and your ideas until you finally find out what you want is super powerful. Visualize your ideal life. What would you do if nobody cared? What's your dream life? What's your dream house? What's your dream wife? The point is that you have to be super honest with what you actually want. And if you use a SWOT analysis, you can use that honesty to properly reflect on yourself. So SWOT analysis is something used in businesses, but you can use it for yourself as well. It basically stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So things that might harm your progress. And for all of these categories, write down which things you're good at. What's very important is that you also include bad habits, the things that you're doing wrong. Be completely honest with yourself because there's no shame in having bad habits. We all started somewhere and most people are still trying to get rid of theirs. Only when you pinpoint what things are holding you back from success, you're actually going to evolve past that. So whether it's drinking, smoking, social media, porn, or any of these crazy things, just be completely honest about what the problem is.
Self-improvement is simple, but it's not easy. What does that mean? It is very simple. You just simply need to do these habits like meditating or journaling. You need to do them consistently. But exactly this is the point. Being consistent with this is a simple thing, but it's not easy. It's not easy to do, okay? You need to make self-improvement your priority, because if it's not your priority, you're probably not going to be very consistent with it. I know that you want to do self-improvement on the side, and yes, in theory that's possible by just progressively overloading, but you need to be consistent, and that's a form of prioritization. You need to absolutely get absorbed in the topic. You can do this by watching lots of videos from our channel, Hamza, or some other self-improvement channels. You want to let your brain know that self-improvement is now a very important topic to you. Get absorbed into it. Find the joy in it, because self-improvement is hard work. And the only way that you can make hard work work for you is if you tell your brain how important it is. You need to get this full mindset shift, right? So if you're a complete beginner, you've probably been in a rut, or you've probably had bad mental health, or you've just lived an average life. Now it's time to become a lifelong learner. Get that mindset shift. Now it's about learning, constantly learning new things. How to be good at conversations, be better at studying, how can you get better at uni? Be a lifelong learner. Be interested in different things, not just the things that you're currently interested in, but be interested in everything. And then you need to embrace failure. We learn from failure. In fact, most of us got on self-improvement because we failed at something, or we got here because of pain, like a relationship, which is also a kind of failure if that relationship failed. See failure as something that gives you the opportunity to improve.
Now let's get into the habits that you have to do. Everybody in self-improvement always talks about habits, but the magnitude of habits on your self-improvement are actually immense. They're all that self-improvement consists of. See, what's special about a habit is that it sticks. You just keep doing it consistently because a habit is a part of you. One important way to ingrain these habits into yourself is actually to change your environment to favor those habits. If you have a bag of gummy worms on your desk, you're going to eat gummy worms. If you get rid of all the clutter, all the distractions, and only have things like your running shoes outside, well, you're much more likely to go running. Change your environment to make good habits effortless and bad habits very hard. It's still very easy to lose sight of all your habits if you do not have a habit tracker. A habit tracker is basically a list with all the habits that you're doing. It could be exercise or meditation or anything else that's fun for you or that you want to do for self-improvement. If you have a physical habit tracker, which I highly recommend because it's actually going to be much more visible to you, just like this one right there, I recommend you write down all the habits and then the date. So for each day, you can tick off the habit that you did that day, and then you have a much better overview of what you have to do. You feel accomplished whenever you tick something off, and you can actually see your track record. How well did I do last week, and did I do better this week? Now, the main habits you need to ingrain are the big three. Now, there's a reason we call them the big three, because they're the most effective, and they are meditation, journaling, and exercise. Now, a lot of good habits are useless if you don't get rid of the bad habits. But what's very special about the big three is that they actually help you get rid of the bad habits. See, if you have bad mental health, if you're totally overwhelmed with all your thoughts, you have negative thoughts, well then journaling is going to completely change that. It's going to completely get rid of those. And if you have any sort of addiction, like for example, social media or porn, or maybe even smoking or drinking, meditation is going to make you so much more mindful. So you're not even going to have these thoughts. And whenever you do, you're going to be able to catch those thoughts and say, no, this is an old part of me. You're going to have a much better, more clear overview of what's going on inside your brain. and you're going to be mindful instead of mindless. And last but not least, exercise. See, one of your main problems is probably that you're a bit unfit. You feel like your body and mind aren't capable of many things. Plus, you're not very disciplined, and this makes everything else so much harder. Exercise is the gateway drug into self-improvement. It is literally what teaches you discipline and gets everything else started. So start with exercise and everything else will follow. These big three are literally the foundation of all of self-improvement.
Optimizing your habits is the name of the game because these make habits work for you. The very first thing that we recommend is actually habit stacking. What is habit stacking? Well, we like to have a morning routine where we go outside, but we also want to journal in the morning. The reason why we like to go outside is because we need that beautiful, sunlight. So what we do is that we actually take our journal and we journal outside. Why? Well, journaling takes time. Going for a walk takes time. Journaling on our balconies or, well, my stairs outside makes it very easy to both get sunlight in the morning and journal. Why do we want that sunlight in the morning? Well, it's to be more awake, but we got videos on that. This trick is about habit stacking. Stack your habits to save some time and optimize them for you. You can do this and create a routine. Now we have tons of routines on this YouTube channel. We actually have a playlist which I'm going to link up there with the perfect beginner self-improvement routine. So if you're a beginner, check that one out. It's incredibly, ridiculously easy. Once you've sort of found your way into self-improvement, you're doing all these habits, you can start to create your own routine because you know what works for you, what works at what time of the day and so on. And once you have a good routine, you need to stick to it. This is when accountability buddy comes in. This can either be a good friend. For example, I'm an accountability buddy for Lewis and vice versa. But if you don't have a good friend that's on self-improvement yet, hey, there's no shame in that. There's actually certain ways that you can use to still have accountability buddies. What Lewis and I did is that we joined the Driven 30 Challenge. This is a challenge by Leon Hendricks, which is all about self-improvement. Doing a list of habits every single day for 30 days straight. And no, the point is not to actually finish this in 30 days. It's probably going to take you a couple of months because you always keep messing up, keep missing one day, and then you have to start all over. Is it a pain? Yeah, of course it is. But it teaches you discipline and it holds you accountable. It's a perfect way of getting into self-improvement.
If you enjoyed this banging episode of Pablo's Pill, you might like this one as well. We'll see you there.